What is up, you guys? It is your boy, Captain Jack. We are gonna do a gnarly commercial trip on this one. You can see we are all geared up and we are soaking wet. The conditions are less than favorable for sure, but we are gonna be doing some high intensity spearfishing. We're going for quantity here. Yeah, I'm excited to take you guys on this. Red snapper are the main thing we're going for, but we'll take what we can get. So here with Drakey, we got Michael, Sir Michael Wavy, and then we got Ryan. Yeah, we're gonna go out, four-man mission. We're gonna try to hopefully get some land on some commercial red. What are we going for, gags too?
Yeah, we get 25 pounds of gag and as much red snapper as you want.
Okay, cool. All right, well, we're gonna get out there. We're not gonna go very far because there's just a massive front coming through, and it is cold and it's wet, and I'm ready to get in the water because it's freezing topside.
I love these.
How cold do you think it is, air temp?
I don't know. I'm gonna guess mid 60s, 60s.
Okay.
You think 60s?
I think, yeah, definitely. Maybe 50s.
Yeah, maybe
high 50s.
Yeah.
All right, but if you guys haven't seen Drake, he came over to the Bahamas with me and he almost got eaten by a shark.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, you forget about that?
I'm sketched out by the Bahamas now.
Yeah, he's tainted. He's forever tainted. All right, you guys, welcome back to the voiceovers. Now you can hold your breath with Drake on this dive. This was a trip a while ago. Like I said, it was in the Bahamas, and we are using pole spear, unlike today where we are using guns. So the best part about this video is you're going to get the best of both worlds. And a pole spear, the reason they use them over in the Bahamas is you're not allowed anything with the trigger mechanism. So this is, in layman's terms, it is just a long carbon fiber pole with the tip, and there's a long elastic rubber band on the back of it. You grab the band, choke up on the spear, you create tension, and this, when you let go of the spear is how you shoot it. It just jolts out and stabs whatever fish you're trying to get. So they got to be a little closer. He's trying to go after this schoolmaster in this crack, and when he took that like half-hearted shot, he ended up shooting a little bait fish. And now this was a innocent bystander, but he's still making a drop. He sees these schoolmasters, and just wait what he does right here. Goes after the schoolmasters, and like I said, schoolmasters with an S, because he shot two on one shot, which is really hard to do. And if you thought that was cool, just wait till he gets to the surface. Something crazy happens, and I'll talk you through it.
Yeah.
So that was pretty crazy, and that doesn't happen like that very often over here in the Bahamas. That shark was so erratic and crazy and popped out of literally nowhere. Joey and I were actually going to get a grouper, and yeah, that's not normal. But once the shark let go, he lifted the fish up out of the water. And you saw the shark wasn't really interested in him. But yeah, what a wild dive.
Oh yeah, shark. Woo.
On your ass, dude.
Yeah.
Kind of fucked up your fish.
Oh yeah.
They've got a black.
They do.
I think that Joey shot. I don't know if he hit it or not.
Okay.
Put the line in. It's coming over.
I got one too. Holy f. that was a little Bahamas encounter there.
Well, Ryan has some cool footage. I'll see if he can. Share that with you from yesterday, and I'll play that as we head out, so you can get a taste of what we're in for today. So this was the day before, and I did not go on this trip. These guys told me about how great the weather was, which is a total 180 of what the weather was today. But they were diving these oil rigs, and our goal was to go to these rigs, but we didn't make it. And actually, sorry, they're not oil rigs. They're just, rigs out there in the Gulf. And Their goal is red snapper, and they're making anywhere, I think they're in like 100 feet. They're making anywhere drops from like 20 feet to 90 feet, depending on where the fish are. So now Ryan's going down, following the structure all the way down, and it looks like the viz isn't that great. But you'll see once the fish start showing up, he'll start leveling out, and that's when he goes after some of the red snapper, and that's their goal. They could go after mangroves, but the red snapper, they fetch a better price in the market, so that's the goal. That's what's in season. And he finds these random pillars coming off of the structure, and that's when the big reds start showing up. There's one right there. There's another one at the top. And he kind of made a tailing away shot. I mean, I wasn't there. I don't know what. I don't know how often they were seeing fish, if they were seeing them on every drop. But you'll see what happens, and kind of what could have done differently. But like I said, I wasn't there. I don't know the situation. I don't know if this was the first dive, the second dive. I have no clue. But this very well could have been the first dive, and he let the fish run a little bit. Didn't want to stress getting to the surface. Maybe he wasn't sure about the shot, if it was good enough. He didn't want to horse him up. But you'll see why maybe horsing him up would have been a better option. But like I said, I wasn't there. I don't know what. I couldn't see a shot. And everything is situational whenever you're diving. There could be, like I said, it could be a spot you're familiar with, so there's a lot of sharks, or if there's not a lot of sharks, you can let the fish run, you can't let the fish run, but it's really situational. But I'll let this clip play out, and you'll see exactly what happens, and also Ryan will talk about it a little bit afterwards out topside, and then we will get back to our underwater adventure.
Go diving, they said. They said it'd be fun. We'll see when we get out there if I regret this decision. Oh my god. That was monster. That was a big wave. Oh god. Pretty gnarly. Just trying to keep warm. I've already given up on trying to stay dry. Are working on it.
Let's get on.
I have to go solo. I'm not gonna make any crazy drops though, for sure. But we're gonna hop
in. So the GoPro does not do it justice. This water is nasty, but this is Ryan's camera, and he's making a drop, and we kind of tag teamed on this dive. This is literally like his first drop. He goes down, and we're supposed to be diving some big wreck out there. It's probably around 30 feet deep, 35 feet deep. The Viz is not good, the GoPro, and he's actually using a DJI camera, and it's actually looks way clearer than it really was. There was a gag that kind of just spooked right there, cruising along the edge of this wreck, but there's something off to the right that caught his eye, and he thought it was sharks, but it is a pair of solid cobia. Now both are legal, but luckily that bigger one underneath gives him the shot. And same deal, he lets this guy run, and I don't think there's really many predators around. There was a Goliath, but he was kind of small. But he gets to the surface, calls me up, and you'll see my head was popped up waiting for him to surface.
Yo! Cobia on! Cobia!
And once he told me he had the cobia on, I hauled butt over there. Now that's my camera. I get up to him, I see him pulling it up, and I head down and I say, why not? I'm gonna make a backup shot. And I'm so happy I did that. And if you're not sure, do it anyways. And this is a prime example because this guy was really green and he goes crazy and actually rips out Ryan's initial shot. And I didn't realize how far that fish was, but it ripped his shot out, and thank God I still had my, you know, spear in him to hold on to him. And if you're making that backup shot, make sure you make a good shot, because if he went too crazy and my spear pulled out, we had two unloaded guns, and the fish would literally swim away with 2 holes in them and most likely die. So ethical thing to do, take your time on the backup shot. This is a prime example because that initial shot did pull out, and we had to work this guy up. And if you don't know cobia, they're fighters, and they will absolutely go berserk in the water or on land, and also they're really tough to brain. So I get a hold of this guy, pull my knife out, I try to brain him, but they're really hard. They have such a thick skull, and it's not like a fish where you can, like, you know, try multiple times to brain them. These guys, you have to like hammer your knife in the back of their brain. But he's pretty worn out. I'm gripping onto him really hard, and I'm just gonna try to get him to the boat and just flip him in the boat. So I'm gonna flip him. Where's Ryan?
I'm coming towards. We're gonna.
Oh, you're good.
Make sure the poker doesn't get over the motor.
He was about to go out. Well, he said there was another one.
Fuck yes, dude. Let's get this shit. He's right behind that weed. Look at his
So we get back in the water, and the conditions are really starting to wear on us. The waves are really choppy. Even my snorkel keeps getting buried under the water when I'm trying to make dives. But this is my dive where I finally go on the actual wreck. And now it doesn't take long to get down to the bottom, and I'm really kind of have my gun tucked because I don't want to have it sticking out because the viz is so bad. Like I said, the GoPro really does a good job of picking up farther than the visibility actually is. Like, realistically, I couldn't even see the edge of the wreck. But I go ahead, scan the surface. There was nothing there, so I decided to, you know, kind of fall over the edge there, kind of cruise along the edge, check a couple holes. But like I said, and this, like I said, the visibility isn't great, and the sun, you know, not being out really doesn't help either. So looking in these holes, you could barely see inside of them. There's a big Goliath off in the distance, but this is the same route that Ryan just took, and he got lucky and saw the cobia. So I was really hoping for the same thing. but they weren't around. I was hoping that other one might have came back to the wreck, but it was just too sketchy a viz and really hard to see. But there was a lot of life, tons of little bait fish, tons of mangrove snappers. So worst case scenario, maybe we could pop off a couple of mangroves. But yeah, I just did a full scan of the wreck, and now we're just gonna, probably make a gameplay decision.
Right here, the wreck. We're right on it. You can see it.
So we switch back over to Ryan's cam, and he makes a drop on the wreck, but he ended up drifting off of it a little bit to where he was just on some rubble. You can hold your breath with him as he goes down. And this was right after I just made that little kind of scanning dive. And when you guys are buddy diving, a lot of people talk about, it's, safer, but also it's really, really more efficient because one person can go down, they can see where they are, if they're on the wreck, if they're off the wreck. He sees a nice sheep's head right here, kind of follows it around, makes a nice shot. But like I was saying before, he could come up, tell me what the viz looks, or like what the conditions are down below, where we're exactly at, and instead of me just making blind drops for like 10 seconds and then seeing I'm not on the spot and then doing that over and over again.
Jack. Yo. I know. This was the biggest one I saw there. Are we on? Yeah. We're on something. There was a bunch of AJs, a bunch of Cudum. Alright.
Now, what Ryan and I were talking about at the surface there for a second was that these conditions really suck, and we're pretty much worn out at this point. The waves slapping us in the face, the guys on the boat getting beat up. We're really feeling discouraged. So Ryan and I literally talked to each other like, hey, let's go down, shoot a mangrove each, and let's call it. So I go down, don't know if I'm on the wreck, but I go down, I know I'm going to at least hit sand, and then I can kind of maybe get an idea of where the wreck could be. So I see dropping just sand. I get all the way to the bottom, and I'm kind of looking around, and I see the bait fish, so I just start following the bait fish, and then I start seeing a little bit of structure right there. And then as I see that structure, I see something flutter from it right there, stops, turns around, and it's a nice gag. I line up the shot, and you can see I honestly didn't even have my gun fully extended. The viz is that bad. But I made a headshot. I wasn't positive on where exactly I shot. I thought I shot it maybe a little too low. He could have ripped out, so I made sure I got my hands on the fish, got my hands in the gills, and brought him to the surface, and was kind of just prepping because I know Ryan's about to make another dive too.
Got a gag. How big do they gotta be? 20 inches? Oh, he's 22. He's good. Okay.
So just like all my other fish, make sure I brain, bleed, and gut them. Even if you're doing commercial, it actually, it's just more sustainable, and it's good to practice that routine every time you get a fish, regardless of size of fish or species of fish. Always get in the habit of braining them and bleeding them. And you see right there, I didn't get him on the one side, so I just swapped over, better angle, was able to brain him. Now Ryan goes ahead and makes a drop right now, and we're roughly in the same area, just maybe in the sand on a little bit of rubble. We tried to, we couldn't see the bottom, so we were just making blind drops in this like 30 feet of water. But once he made this drop, he saw amberjacks. He starts kind of swimming towards them, seeing if there's any cobia or permit or anything, kind of swimming with those fish. But he gets to the sand, and literally same exact thing. Nice gag, takes a good shot on him, and his was actually a little bit bigger than mine, so I was pretty stoked. Literally both him and I wanted to go down for some mangrove snapper, but came up with some gag grouper. That honestly was very unexpected surprise, but we'll take it.
That's fat.
Yeah, he's
It's kind of fat and short.
Dude, we almost got 25 pounds.
Yeah. Damn. We'll hop in. Dude, it's even like diving conditions, man. We both were like, let's just go. And we're like, let's make a drop and each shoot a mangrove, and we both shot gags. You got it? You just grab everything. Thank you. We were both like, let's get the out of here. How is it topside?
It's getting shittier.
I think it is.
We did what we did.
Yeah.
Now we did something.
All right, so we made the best of the situation that we had. Dude, Ryan got that cobia. Nice job, dude. That was awesome. I didn't know you took such a long shot. I was like, oh, I don't know if he needs a backup shot. Dude, I'm glad I took that shot. Dude, like, well, I mean, I went pretty hard on your spear trying to like get him up. Oh yeah. But no, he was like it was like on the edge of the pit, so I couldn't even tell if it was a cobia. Yeah. I was just like, that kind of looks like the outline of a cobia. Like Hail Married at it. Dude, heck yeah. Got it. Yeah, dude, good thing it wasn't a shark. I kind of thought it was a shark from the surface when I saw it flying around. Oh no, it's definitely a good cobia. That was a good one too, dude. We did a good job. Only 45 minutes of diving. Maybe a little longer. I think between 30 and an hour. What do you think?
Yeah,
How long?
I got like 45.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Made the best of
Not
it.
many people would do this trip today. Like, experienced captains were telling me, it's not a good idea to go out today.
I believe
So,
that. And they were not wrong. Yeah, we're so experienced.
We almost sucked the boat.
Dude, I saw your face. Your face was like,
I was.
you were like, I could see the worry in your eyes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was just a little bit like, oh.
Yeah, you're like, guys, I don't think when we start second guessing and questioning things, that's when we know something's
We're
wrong.
experienced enough. We were trying to anchor up in
exactly.
5 foot seas.
Can I get the car?
Dude, the best was Drake was like, let's anchor. And I was like, no, dude, that's not a good idea. And Mike was like, no, let's not anchor. And then later on, I joked around, and I was like, hey, maybe we should anchor, like just to be totally facetious. And Drake was like, yeah, I think that's the call.
Yeah.
And Mike was like, dude, he was kidding. This thing would have been swamped. 100%. It would have been snatched underwater, I guaranteed. Unless we had like 400 feet of scope out. Made it back. So this is where I've been camped out. Yeah, Drake is right over there. Really cool spot. I came in last night, super late, cooked up a meal. If you haven't seen that, check out the last episode where I did like an awesome adventure across Florida, and also did a little spearing and was successful and cooked up what I ate. So yeah, if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and give it a look. But guys, this is called making the best out of the worst situation. You can see how bad it's just pouring out there. But yeah, Not every day is a good day. I turned on the hot water heater. I have a little hose that comes out of here that sprays hot water. So I'm gonna just shower with my wetsuit on, get some nice hot water up in here. It's gonna be delightful. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it that thumbs up. If you're new, consider subscribing. Also check out those other guys, their Instagram handles. They got some awesome content, so be sure to give those guys a look. And I want to shout out Drake. Thanks for bringing me on this trip. I know you kind of feel bad that it was a kind of really bad weather, but you know, it can't be helped. I had a good time regardless. If you guys like this video, give it that thumbs up. If you're new, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys next week for another adventure. Later.